Hey everyone, I'm Karen,
And I'm Jennifer, and this is our podcast. My sister is a Karen.
and today we are talking about our love and obsessions, our dogs. This is how we talk about it every time that something ridiculous happens with the dogs, and I'm like, I have to go call my sister right now.
So, before we get started on that, can we just talk for a second about Bobby Witt Jr.? I know we both love Royals
Love
baseball, and I know we both love Bobby Witt Jr. because anyone who's a baseball fan and does not love Bobby Witt Jr. is
is not a
probably
baseball.
wrong. You're just wrong. Like, that's like
They're
saying I don't
probably
love Mike
Yankees
Trout.
fans, which we know are not real baseball fans anyways.
Yeah, it could be that. I'm not sure what it is, but it's like saying I don't love Mike Trout. Like,
Yes.
of course you do love Mike Trout. Of course you love Shohei Ohtani. Of course you
I mean,
love
you just have
Bobby
to
Witt
respect
Jr.
that talent. Like,
So there was a thing. Okay, first of all, Bobby Witt Jr. wrote an article for the Players Tribune a few days ago, which as a sports fan, I love the Players Tribune because you get to read like these things about, like from their perspective.
yes,
And it's usually written in a very casual pen. Like it's very, like almost as,
conversational.
yes. Bobby Witt Jr., who again we love because we're Kansas City Royals fans. Like we bleed royal blue, super
Oh my
fans.
God.
We love Bobby Witt Jr. anyway, but just it was really cool. Like he talked about like the anxiety of performing. Have you read it?
No, I have not.
You should read it. So he talks about like the anxiety of performing at a baseball game when he was young. I mean, I'm talking about like when he's like 8, 9, 10, like that. He
Yeah.
talked about like how practice was really comfortable for him, but games were not because he was worried about like letting people down. And then he talked through like his first couple of seasons, and I'm fast forwarding and like very much like you know but he talked about like his first couple seasons were a little bit disappointing for him because he like didn't perform the way he wanted to for his teams. He got bumped down to like AAA a couple of times. Even the ALDS series last year, which like I'm still mourning that we lost to the Yankees. And I never want to say bad things about Bobby Witt Jr. because I literally think he's the entire package, including nice guy.
Yes.
I know, I love him. I don't want to say anything bad, but he didn't do anything great during that season. That's as bad as I'm going to say about it.
In that series.
Or that
Not that.
series. You're correct. Sorry. During the series against the Yankees, he did like it was a little disappointing. His performance was a little lackluster. And he said, like, every at bat, he was like, this is the one that I'm going to hit it and I'm going to change the course of the series. And he was like, I need to get back to fundamentals. And like, it's like, that's not always what it's about. Anyway, the other thing I want to say about him, he gave his bat to some kid in the
I
stand
did see
that
that.
had the number 7.
Yes.
And
The
I
kid
know
had a mullet that matched his.
yes, he had and the kid had no idea that Bobby Witt Jr. was going to give him that bat. That kid
Oh my
was
gosh.
literally just like wandering
He
about.
changed that kid's life in a 2 minute,
He
just like,
certainly did. Here's the thing. What Bobby Witt Jr. did there is certainly fabulous and cool. And I love it because I'm a Royals fan and because I am in love with Bobby Witt Jr. in a very wildly appropriate way. I think he's a great guy. But here's the thing. Everybody else is doing the same thing, right? Like Mike Trout does that.
yes.
Aaron Judge does it. Like when you go to basketball, they take off their shoes. Caitlin Clark gives her shoes to fans.
Yes.
What Bobby Witt Jr. did is not necessarily special in that way, but it is special. Like that kid
To
was
that
there. He was
kid.
a super fan and it was special.
Right.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my job. I am a
Yeah.
cancer nurse, and I say to patients all the time, like, hey, just because I do this all day, every day, you don't go through this all day, every day. And it's the same for
Exactly.
him. Like, just because he does that, once a game, like, he's literally, I mean, that kid is never, oh my God, that kid's family that was with him. Did you see the dad tear off his jersey?
Yes.
He's
Yes.
like, oh my God, we struck
Yes.
gold. Bobby Witt Jr. Like, yeah.
I mean, it's not the same thing, but you know the story that when I was little, I broke my arm. I had a cast on. I was like 5 or 6 years old when I broke my arm. I probably weighed 35 pounds. I was a small waif of a thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was very skinny, very frail. I looked like I was malnourished. I wasn't. Our parents took good care of us. I just leaned toward a very skinny figure. And so I was walking around with this cast. It came all the way up as high as it would go on my shoulder. And for whatever reason, like I wanted George Brett to sign my cast. That's how old I am. George Brett was our hero when we
Because
were
we love
little.
George Brett.
Honest to God, if there was ever a true royal, George Brett, Alex Gordon, and now
Bobby.
BWJ.
Yeah. Bobby
Yeah,
Baseball.
yeah,
Uh,
that's our
I,
three. That's the
that
holy
is our
trinity.
three. I
Yeah,
can we put Salvi in there?
you can put Salvi in there, but he doesn't go in the trinity, Karen. He goes on the top five. Okay,
Okay. He's like one of my. I mean, just.
I know, but then you
I
gotta
mean, and
you
he
gotta
he
open it up.
did. He
But then
was really good friends with your shopping buddy, Locaine.
I did go shopping with Locaine at IKEA once. That was cool.
Yes,
That happened. Also, I mean, if we're really going to go there, like Eric Hosmer is one of my all-time favorite baseball players. I love Eric Hosmer
I
and
think
Moose.
yes.
Actually, everyone from the 2015 World Series team, they all win it. But Moose and Hosmer have a podcast.
Oh
It,
yes,
it's not as cool as ours, but they have more listeners.
they did get George Brett to talk about when he shit his pants, though. So
They also got George Brett, and George Brett was like, I don't like everybody's doing all these podcasts, and they're like, you know we're doing a podcast right now, and he's like, I don't even know whose fucking podcast this is. He said something like that. It was hilarious. So
like what?
they might have a cooler podcast than us because they do get some pretty cool guests. But anyway, so we digress. But I just needed to take that moment to talk about our favorite sport.
No, it's we can always take a moment for the Royals.
And this week is opening week. So
I
like
know.
I know.
I
Baseball is back.
like this is so in our blood. People don't understand. Our Gramps, obviously have two grandpas. We call him Grandpa and then Gramps, and our grandpa um sold season tickets for the Royals, making no money, just the benefit of doing
Yes.
it because he loved baseball. And then our
Yes.
Gramps was also a baseball fan. And Gramps' four favorite days of the year are um, Royals opening day, the first tomato of the season, the day that the days start getting longer on December 21st.
Yep.
And what's his fourth one?
I don't know.
Maybe it's just the three. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just the.
Probably grandma's birthday.
Oh, it was. No,
Grandma's
I
birthday.
think their anniversary. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
something to do with grandma, obviously, but literally one of his favorite days. And it's not baseball opening day.
No, Royals.
Opening day at the K.
Yes.
Yeah, Royals opening.
Gramps' story of he was in World War II and the Brownies, the St. Louis Brownies, were going to the World Series, and Gramps asked for leave to go home to St. Louis for the Brownies World Series.
He
The commanding officer was like, absolutely not. Like, I don't even think he entertained it. He was like, no. And Gramps was like, literally, this was Gramps. He goes, well, I figured they were never going to the World Series again. I might as well give it a shot. That was so logical for him.
I know. It was
To be
like,
clear, he was not married yet. So that was still single man Gramps. But yeah.
yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God,
But
that's
yeah,
so funny.
he did ask for leave from a war for
I
his
know.
team. Yeah.
And he was stationed in like Okinawa or something. He was like literally in the center of the war.
Guadalcanal. Yes.
Yes,
He
yes,
was in the Pacific.
yes. Like there
And
was
he's like, I mean,
no
they're not going to do
misunderstanding.
this again. So
Yeah. Also, we're not going to storm the beaches at Normandy again, but
I know.
Brownies World Series.
I mean, as a Brownies fan, he probably was more irreplaceable on that side of the ocean.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of family we grew up in.
Yes.
And
So,
oh, go ahead.
speaking of family, today we're going to talk about our furry family members.
Yes.
Um, and neither of us has a participant, for the people on YouTube and whatever. Um, Neither of us has our dog with us, of course, but
We'll bring them in
we,
next time.
yes. Um, so we're going to talk about our just furry obsessions that we have, because we both just have the most amazing, well, it's not even my dog, it's my mom's dog, which makes it even better because I don't pay for her. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So
so
I have a dog. Her name is Saphira, and if you've read the books, The Inheritance Cycle, Saphira is the name of the dragon in the books. And so my kids named the dog after this dragon who is like massive, like the size of the Eiffel Tower or something. Like I mean,
having
in the books, they don't have references like that, but she doesn't fit into.
no clue that she has that personality at the time when they named her.
Right. No, they just named her after their favorite books.
Yeah.
She is 12 pounds soaking wet. Like soaking wet. She is 12 pounds. Sometimes if she spazzes out on the scale at the vet office, then she'll clock in at like 14.1, and I'm like, lies. Absolute
Yeah.
lies. She's very small. She's a Westie, so a West Highland Terrier, and she's small for an adult female Westie. I don't know if she was just the runt, but she had some medical problems when she was young also. So I don't know if like those, and she was sick from about like 13 or 14 weeks until about 6 months. So I don't know if that stunted her growth. I don't know if she was just destined to be the runt. I don't know, but she's pretty small for a female Westie. But I'm not really a dog person. I didn't
Do
really want
not
a
come at her
dog.
for this. Okay.
No, no, it's not that I dislike dogs. It's just not my thing. I'm not really an animal person
You're
in
not really a
general.
pet person.
No, I'm not. So, but my kids both are, and like we went through like all these years. I was married. We were divorced. I was trying to get through school and raise the kids, and he kind of didn't disappear right away, but he was unreliable and didn't have the kids on a regular basis. And I was just like trying to like pay the bills, get through college so I could like later have a better life and raise my kids by myself. I didn't live in town where I had family. That was a choice. I could have moved home, but I didn't. And so the idea of having a dog all those years was just like there was no way, because I was barely getting through the day most of those years. So then
Yeah.
after I graduated and we were like settled someplace and I had a good job, I was making good money. I was like, okay, like I'm gonna get my son, some allergy shots, and we'll think about getting a dog. So I got this dog. Like I did all this research. I was like, I need a dog that can be left at home alone for at least 8 hours a day. I need a dog that can like crate trained. I also wanted a dog that was small enough I could pick her up and put her where I wanted to be. So that if I had like a disobedient dog, I could still like corral it. I couldn't.
Yeah.
And small dog poop. The other advantage is
Yes.
small dog poop. Okay. So we wanted to rescue. That didn't work out for a multitude of reasons that I'm not going to like get into, but we end up with this puppy. And instantly everyone is in love with her, especially me. Like I literally just like fell head over heels in love with this dog. She is hilarious. I had no idea that dogs like have personalities the way that like babies, like she is
Yes.
sassy and difficult and hilarious and definitely has favorites. Definitely has favorites at the house. Um,
She, I would almost say, is like manipulative in a funny way. Like, do you remember when
I would agree with that. Yeah.
she used to make Lucille like hand feed her?
Yes. But she would never expect me to hand feed her. She
Yeah.
would take one look at me and be like, she's never going to do it. And then she'd walk over to Lucille. Like
Yes.
literally. And to be clear, like she was a very stinky eater. Like she would literally go a couple of days without eating. Um so the fact that she would do that, like Lucille would give in very easily because the dog needed to be fed. Like we knew she was barely eating. So yeah, she would do things like that. She would like Lucille would go to pick her up and she would like run away from Lucille. And if like say
Yes.
our parents were in town, she'd go over to my mom and like snuggle up to my mom after she had just like dissed Lucy. Like she would do it
Yes.
on purpose. It was
And like,
very funny.
look over at Lucy. Do you see
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah. It was ridiculous.
She has the personality of a dragon that is, as big as a mountain and bulletproof.
Exactly. Exactly. She really does. She does. I always joke, I'm like, she actually doesn't know she's a small dog, so please don't tell her. Because she definitely has like big dog energy, like maybe even pony energy.
Yeah.
like, like she definitely thinks she's the top of the food cycle. And I'm like, ma'am, the
Yeah.
German Shepherd that lives across the street wouldn't even have to chew to swallow you whole. Like,
But
no,
she
you're
is running the show.
She is.
She-
She really is. And so back when we first got her, our parents were coming to my house. I lived in Texas at the time. Mom and dad, well, they lived in Chicago, then they moved to Kansas City. So they would drive down to Texas and stay with us for like 2 weeks at a time. It was great. Like I bought a house that had a spare bedroom for them. Mom worked from home at the time. Mom was still working. She would work from home and she would just like go up to the bedroom. She had a chair. I don't think she had a desk, but she had a chair up there. She had kind of a little setup with an end table, and she
yeah.
would work from home from her laptop. And they would be there for like 2 weeks at a time, and it was great because they got to, my kids had never lived in the same town as our parents, but they ended up with this really solid, stable, supportive relationship with their grandparents because they made such an effort to be present in all ways. There's a hair. So
Yes, they were. They would go
yeah,
for big events and little events.
yeah. Sometimes they'd
I
just be
mean,
there. They would like drive Sam to swim practice. I'd be like, I'm gonna be working until what I mean, I didn't work very late, but occasionally I did work a little bit late. Mom and dad would mom would fold the laundry, like it was great. They'd be there. But mom fell in love with my dog. Like
so
fell in love. First of all, she's very cute. I always say, like, oh, my dog is for decorative purposes only, but she is very full of personality and mom loved her. Like,
well, she does like that was when you had the groomer that painted her nails.
yes, she did have
Um,
nails and her collar always matched the painted nails.
yeah, and she had like dresses that she loved. She
She does
knew
love to
she
get
was the
dressed.
sassiest, cutest thing. Like you'd put her in a dress. You can follow her on Instagram at Saphira the Dragon Dog, by the way.
You can,
It's
that's
worth it.
true.
You can thank
Yeah.
us later. Like,
She does, like, you would say, like, Safira, come get your dress on. And she would come prancing over. And I would be like, okay, lift your paw. And she would lift her arm, put it in the dress. Like, she does like to wear dresses. She knows that she gets a lot of attention out of it. And
yes.
mom just ate it up, like, literally ate it up.
And our mom has never been, again, it's not even just not a dog person. She's never been a pet person. Like, it's
Like,
just
less
too,
of a pet person than I am.
yeah, it's like too frivolous. Like,
Yeah.
years ago, she and dad got me a shelter dog, and the whole dad pitched the idea to her, and she was like, yeah, okay, I'll offer that to Karen because she's never going to say yes. And mom, like, when I was like, yeah, I want a dog, she, mom was like, you do?
Yeah. Yeah. So
She was like,
confused. So
yeah.
confused. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so
So,
she's never been a dog person. And I mean, she would send the dog presents. Like,
oh, for no reason.
yes,
Like not
she,
just
like,
like for Christmas every year there was a Christmas gift to Safira from Anne and Grandpa. My parents go by Anne and
yes,
Grandpa for the grandkids. And there would be a Christmas gift every year. But then like my mom would just like come for a visit. My mom and dad would come for a visit and mom would have like a donut squeaker toy for Safira. She's like, "Oh, I picked this up at TJ Maxx for her." I'm like, "You didn't even
she
bring a
would like
present for me."
call me from Aldi and be like, do you think the extra small that says it's 15 pounds, Saphira's about 12. Do you think this will fit her? Mom, just put it, you already have bought it probably. Like, just like she absolutely loved to have a
Yes.
dog that she could also spoil. And again,
Yes.
Saphira is very much like, oh, she loves me. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Like that was a totally unexpected relationship. And even the
Yes.
kids would be like, Anne really loves Saphira. And I'm like, oh, you guys have
And
competition. Like
and
you are
so funny because our dad, who is a dog person,
yes,
like his best friend growing up was his dog Hunter, that we
yes,
all, Hunter
yes,
was the best dog in the whole world.
yep,
Um But and so dad but he's like a collie type of dog person.
yes.
So a little 12-pound Westie with her sassiness, like when she barks back at him, he's not amused. And
No.
our mom is like giggling like a
Mom will be
schoolgirl.
like, she's outside barking in the backyard. And I'm like, every day, mom. Every day. And mom is like, it's like when your baby rolls over for the 10th time and you're still fascinated by it. Mom's like, she's still outside barking. And I'm like, yeah, mom, every day. And dad is like, your damn dog is barking. And I'm like, I know,
Yeah.
dad. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's
the
like
attitude.
annoying to dad, and mom is like, "That's the cutest. Look at her out there barking at that Rottweiler like she can take him on."
And dad's like, well, she looks kind of dumb to me, but okay.
Yes. Yes.
So fast forward to COVID. And mom is like, oh, I think I want a dog. And I'm like, you just retired. What do you mean you think you want a dog? She's like, well, if I could get a Saphira. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, she's expensive. So I don't know if you can get a Saphira. But she's like determined that she wants a dog. And like, I think she called shelters. I think she did a lot of things to see if she could find a dog. She looked for a Westie, which is what my dog is. And I think the personality of my dog, I think is that's common in Westies.
Yes. When I like when I've done, a little bit of research,
Yeah.
I think her personality is because they are kind of stubborn, sassy. I mean, they do have very charming personalities,
Yes.
um, but also kind of trying, you
Yes.
know.
I mean, they definitely like they talk about, you can't let this dog be the alpha because then they don't do anything that you want them to do. And so
Yes.
there's like a whole
Like
training.
I should not own a Westie.
No, you should not own a Westie. There's a whole like training process that you're supposed to do with these Westies to make sure that they don't just like sort of take over your life. But yeah, mom's like, oh, I want a dog. I want a Westie. Well, she can't get one. And now during COVID, like all the dogs were like overpriced because everybody was buying COVID dogs. And our mom is cheap, by the way. If I mean,
Yes,
we always think our dad is cheap, but actually, they're a
they both
pair.
are.
They're a
Yeah.
pair. Yeah, yeah,
And it did not help our aunt, our mom's sister, also, who does like dogs, but also loves to travel and does not want the responsibility and to be tied down. Our aunt was like, "Oh, we can get a dog together,"
yeah,
because they do live like 3 blocks from each other.
yeah, yeah.
They, they, our aunt's friend had a dog that
Yep.
they had bought. She was still a puppy. They weren't going to be able to keep her. She was too high maintenance. It was the friend's daughter who was starting a business, whatever. Our mom and our aunt felt like this was a sign from God that
It was
this was
meant
their
to be.
dog.
It was meant to be. This was their dog. And by
Yes,
the way, the dog is an Australian Shepherd. So it is a
yes.
dog that is very high maintenance, high shedding,
High
high
energy.
high energy, high maintenance, high energy, high shedding. Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, very, very reactive.
Mm.
Makes mom was mad at her the other night because they were watching TV, and there's now two dogs that live on the cul-de-sac, which
Oh,
really is a problem. Uh,
yeah.
because as they walk past,
Lady thinks
and
the whole neighborhood is her turf,
she
not
is
just the
like,
cul-de-sac.
yeah, very, very much so. When my son, the first time that he watched the 101 Dalmatians, the animated movie, the old one, he was like, when they do the little bark chain, he goes, "Oh, if this was a real thing, Lady would be running that." He's like, she would
Yeah.
know everybody's business.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah,
I'm
she's a very attractive dog. She's really very pretty. Like she's a black coat. She's a great little face, cute little ears. She's a very attractive dog, but she is a lot of work for our retired
She
parents who
just is
are,
very reactive. Like she barks at the dogs and they're like losing their mind. I'm like, she's just being a dog. Mom
yeah,
was mad at her for like an hour because when she was barking at the other dogs, she like broke the blinds, which okay.
yeah,
But I mean, that's not the first time she's done it. And I keep
no,
telling you guys, you just have to close the blinds.
yeah,
Like when those other people are walking their dogs.
yeah,
Um, and dad is like getting the collar thing out, which I'm always like, he's gonna tase you.
yeah.
It's not a taser.
Our
It's
dad
not
is
a
not
tase.
tasing the dog. We do not tase dogs in this family.
Yeah. um and the dog is just I mean, she's
She's
just so
oblivious.
well,
She's
and then she's so
literally
sweet.
oblivious.
She
She
like
cannot read the room.
at all. She is obsessed with our mom. I mean, Anne is so her person every
Oh my
night
God.
because currently I am living at my parents'. So in the evening, my parents watch TV. They're each on the corner right next to each other on their own sofas. And the dog butts up right next to my mom. And I go sit on the other end. And my mom, scoot, oh, there's your Karen, scoot over. Don't. And I'm like, Mom, she is exactly where she wants to be.
Yeah.
The other night, she like doubled down and was like braced her paws as mom was trying to scoot her and just looked back at
That's
her and was like,
funny.
"Oh,
That's funny. I
she's very, very." And I mean, I'm the one who, at some point, is probably going to end up with Lady. Um, Contrary to what mom says when she was like, "Well, I mean, Mike's the obvious choice." I'm like, "Hold the
Mike is
phone."
never home. Mike travels more than I do for work.
No. And I was just like, why is Mike the obvious choice? Like, Lady barely knows Mike. She
Yeah.
adores me.
Yeah.
Um, our other sister gets jealous of how much I love the dog.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's really funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes.
It's been interesting to watch our mom when our mom worked, our mom also took a late journey to college, and both of our parents went back to college as adults after they got married young, after they'd been married, and had all of us. And our mom, she did work for like 25 or something years in a corporate high
Yeah.
stress, lots of hoops to jump through, and she was like middle management or somewhere, she was management somewhere along the way. And so she was very busy when she worked. She was very busy. She was always stressed out. There was always more going on than she could manage at one time. um and so then, she retires and thinks that she's going to slow down, and then she gets this dog who, I swear to God, is more work than her job was. Like,
Well, and she really shoots herself in the foot with how she has the dog on a very strict schedule.
yes,
And
she does.
the dog, like, I mean, she was barking at me the other night because in the evening I came down and for whatever reason I sat on dad's sofa, and that's not where I'm supposed to sit in the evening. And she barked at me and was like corralling me because she's kind of a herder
He's
dog,
like, move your ass off to my dad's sofa.
She just is like, you belong over here
Yeah.
so I can sit and face you with my butt right up against Anne. How it's
Yeah.
supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
This
mean,
dog has,
she has a
yeah,
lot of person, and she's so sweet. I tell people, I'm like, if she could talk, this is what she would say: "I love you, I love you, I love you. You're so pretty. I missed you. Where have you been? I love you so much."
she would. She really would. It's been really fun to watch, like, our mom, who is not a pet person at all, just like totally cater to this dog. And honestly, like, mom didn't fawn over us when we were little like this.
No,
Like, we didn't know. It's been really funny to watch.
she has never ever walked into a house and been like, Karen,
Yeah.
for sure will walk. You go tell your Karen you peed like a good girl.
Yeah, exactly. It's been funny to watch our mom do this. It's really amusing. I don't know, like I don't know that it's a sustainable thing for them to keep Lady for forever because our parents are not young anymore. I mean, they're in really good health, but
Yes.
they've gotten up in age. Like one fall can change the world for them at this point. So like watching them with Lady, I'm just like, I mean, on the one hand, it's a really good thing for them. Mom gets out and gets a lot of steps every day. Mom had her best friend is this woman that she met in the
Oh,
neighborhood a few years ago because they both have dogs. And now mom and Linda are besties. And it's been a real, like, we all know and love Linda, but that all started with the dogs. Like that
yes.
was what that started with. So it's been really funny to watch this because as kids we never had we never had pets. Like we always begged for them, but we never had them. Our mom was always
Not
like,
even fish.
no, no,
I
we have no.
remember winning a goldfish at a carnival and mom was so freaking pissed.
Oh, that's so funny. I don't remember that. Yeah, yeah. We just and our mom is like head over heels in love with this dog. Like literally head over heels in love with her. Spoils
Yes.
her rotten. She'll like in the same breath, she'll be like, oh, the dog, like I've got to like cater to her every need. And then she'll be like, but she's so cute and she's so smart and she's so great. And I'm like, oh my God.
I know. She's like, oh, she's exhausting. Uh,
Yes. So
but
dramatic though.
yes, it is
Yeah.
funny too when mom gets stressed. I'm like, go pet your dog. And
I
so
know,
mom goes,
seriously.
oh, and she goes over and is like, okay, well, it's not working. I don't. And I'm like, don't pet the dog so aggressively. Like, it's supposed to be calming for both of you. Because she
Oh,
just
that's
gets so like tightly wound and she's just like, what? I don't know how this is relaxing to people. Well, other people pet the dog differently.
funny. That's funny. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, I think our dogs are going to be a recurring theme talked about throughout the podcast. I mean, we
Absolutely.
are both in love with the dogs and our families. Not to be forgotten, our brother had a couple of dogs with his wife. They both recently
Yes.
passed away. It was devastating for him and his wife. So, not to be forgotten, there is Tucker and MacGyver, who are also hilarious
And
and
Bella.
and
Oh,
Bella. Oh my God, how did I forget Bella? Jesus,
I
the dog that's the size of a horse.
she literally was. She
I
was a
know.
Great Dane that was apparently small for a female adult Great Dane.
I know.
Um,
Her head was the size of my dog.
I well, when Mike said that she was small for, I was like, Mike, I walk her, 2 doors down, because he lives in the country, to the horses and the mini donkey. She's as big as the mini donkeys down there. He's like, yeah. I'm like, how big are normal Great Danes? Are they as big as
They're
the
really
horse?
big. They're really big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huge poop too.
Yes, exactly the reason I have a 12-pound dog. See? So just not to be, not spreading the love, but we did love our brother and our sister-in-law's dogs too. They were very
Yes.
fabulous dogs. But they're just, the dogs will come up throughout the thing. And honestly, our mom's relationship to her dog is definitely a topic of conversation among her children. We all
Very
talk about our
much.
mom's relationship with her dog on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So just be prepared for it if you're going to be tuning in because it's
We
a tough
will
one.
talk about our dogs, yes, as if they are people. I talk to the dog as if she's a person. Oh my gosh. I, I'm going to tell this story and then we can wrap up real quick. Because this was like last week. One of my best friends, Jason, who I've been friends with longer than I haven't been in my life, I butt dialed him the other day, which I don't often butt dial. And he was like, Karen, it took me like 2 minutes to figure out that you weren't talking to me. And
Oh
it
my God.
wasn't until I said, like, I love you so much. You're such a good girl, that he was like, she butt dialed me and she's talking to the dog.
So
At
funny.
first, I was like, what is it? Are you hungry? What do you need? And he was like, no, I'm fine. Like, why are you calling and asking me this, you weirdo?
Jason?
I know.
Oh
He
my
knows
God,
who
that's
he's
so
friends
funny.
with.
Yeah, he does. He does.
So, guys, tell us all about your dogs, how much you love them, your cats, your whatever other pets you have.
Yeah, we would love
They
to
make
hear it.
they make such a difference in all of our lives and make everything better.
They definitely do. Okay, so don't forget to tune in and like us on all of the social media. My sister is a Karen, except X. We had one character too many, so it's my sister's a Karen without the I. And tune in again in a few days.
Thanks, guys. All right, Jen, I'll talk to you soon. Love you.
Okay, love you too. Bye. See the timer, or I had my, it might have been because I had the phone on the thing. I might have been able to watch the time on something else because at other times I knew where we were on time. But this time, like the
Okay.
phone blocking the time on the laptop that it's propped against. So yeah.
No, I think it was good. I'm actually gonna go hang out with Ryan. So I
Okay.
although most people when I'm like, well, I can give you a preview, but you have to listen to the entire thing in its entirety when it's published. And like mom and dad were both like, nope, we're out. I'm like, okay.
They're rude. That's funny
They
though.
said they would listen to it in its entirety when it's published. So
Okay, that's what matters. But I mean, they
yeah,
did feedback, but okay, fine.
Ryan will give us feedback though.
Good. Good.
Oh, and I bet I can get Jason to listen to one.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, I'll let you get back to work.
Okay. All right. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.